Driving quality education for all Sarawakians, stepping up safety measures on the Borneo Highway, and Sarawak Advanced Health Autonomy through White Paper. These are the headlines for tonight. Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, and you're watching TVS Nightline. The Sarawak government is resolutely committed to enhancing the standard of education within the state, while earnestly striving to transform its vision of cultivating skilled human capital into a tangible reality. Sarawak's Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg reiterated that this unwavering dedication is a pivotal initiative undertaken by the government to ensure that Sarawak maintains its competitive edge in terms of educational excellence.
His speech was delivered by the Sarawak's Deputy Premier, Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Ambas, during the inauguration ceremony of the Sarawak Leadership in Education and Teachers Icon Awards in Sarike on Monday.
Sarawak sangat memahami bahawa kekuatan sumber manusia merupakan elemen penting untuk menjadikan kuasa ekonomi. Impian Sarawak ini haruslah disokong dengan modal insan yang terlatih dengan sistem pendidikan yang bertaraf dunia, kerana kekayaan sumber asli sahaja bukan jaminan.
Aligning with this vision, the Sarawak Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development holds the crucial responsibility of executing policies that align with the federal government's endeavours, with a specific focus on bolstering the growth of Sarawak's education sector. This proactive approach aims to ensure its continuous evolution, fostering a dynamic environment that effectively adapts to the ever-changing demands of the times.
Sarawak berhasrat untuk memastikan pendidikan berkualiti yang boleh diakses oleh semua rakyat tanpa mengira siapa mereka. Di samping itu, kerajaan Sarawak juga komited untuk membangunkan masyarakat berasaskan pengetahuan yang berdaya saing di peringkat global menjelang 2030. Kita mensasarkan Sarawak mempunyai persekitaran kerja yang berkualiti untuk memacu wawasan Sarawak dan cemerlang di peringkat global.
Furthermore, he expressed a positive outlook, acknowledging that the success of the post-COVID-19 2030 Strategic Development Plan, PCDS 2030, heavily relies on the collaborative efforts of all stakeholders involved. These comprehensive plans are essential in meeting the demands of the rapidly evolving new economy.
Deputy Premier Sarawak, Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Ambas, has affirmed that a comprehensive plan is underway to elevate safety standards along the Borneo Highway. This includes the diligent execution of various initiatives, such as the improvement of facilities and the strategic placement of signboards. These concerted efforts aim to instill a sense of vigilance among road users and discourage reckless driving practices.
Moreover, he stressed the importance of the community's attitude and mindset evolving in parallel with the progress and positive advancement of the project.
Hati-hati apabila driving the highway. It is in Borneo is already very smooth, but at the same time safety is very, very important. So there is already still a speed limit. So that is the purpose of the speed limit.
He said this when met by reporters after inspecting the Borneo Highway construction site in the Sarike section on Monday. Uga added that the Ministry of Transportation will undertake educational initiatives aimed at enhancing the safety awareness of the local community. Simultaneously, he reiterated the need for contractors to prioritize safety, particularly in areas that are still undergoing construction and are not yet fully completed.
Sure that a priority is to avoid accident. And this way, the signage are very important. And di mana tempat yang belum siap, the warning system are also there. Kadang-kadang kalau gelap malam, tak nampak.
With the approval of the Health White Paper, Sarawak will now possess the right to exercise autonomy in public health. Deputy Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government, Michael Tiang Ming Tee, expressed that this momentous progress grants Sarawak the ability to make autonomous decisions regarding healthcare. This includes resource allocation and the implementation of strategies aimed at enhancing the healthcare sector within the state.
Tiang reiterated that the Health White Paper was not solely formulated by the Federal Ministry of Health, but rather a collaborative effort that involved consultations with the states. This inclusive approach aimed to address the specific needs of Sarawak in terms of public health services.
That means the federal will decentralize the decision making, and then to let devolutions, to let state to make certain decisions on our health fund allocations, and all how we can to develop our health services in Sarawak.
He said this when speaking to reporters after the celebration event of the Merdeka Convoy at Cebu Central Market on Monday. Tiang, who is also Palawan Assemblyman, unveiled that the endorsement of Health White Paper would effectively address Sarawak's health sector's requirements that were previously overlooked in federal records.
Actually, in national level, right, the doctor, there's a report saying that doctors are oversupplied. But in state level, Sarawak, the ratio is still underachieved. We still need a lot of doctors and nurses in Sarawak. As you know, Sarawak is a very big state. We still need a lot of resources to be allocated to every corner of Sarawak to further improve our public health services. So with that white paper, I believe Sarawak is moving our health autonomy very soon, and we're going to make a lot of important decisions for ourselves, for our own public health services, especially in rural area. We can help those dilapidated conditions of health clinics. We can upgrade them, we can improve them, so that public health services in rural area also be improved.
On June 15th, the Dewan Rakyat granted approval to the Health White Paper through a majority vote. The Health White Paper presents a comprehensive framework consisting of 4 pillars and 15 health reform strategies. Its primary objective is to establish a healthcare system centered around preventive and promotive services, prioritizing the well-being of the people.
Cebu Central Market requires additional parking space urgently, mainly due to the growing number of traders and visitors who frequent the area. Cebu Municipal Council Chairman Clarence Ting Ing Hor emphasized that the current number of registered traders has already exceeded 1,100 on a daily basis.
Clarence pointed out that they are currently awaiting approval from the Sarawak government regarding their application to build an additional parking facility with the capacity to accommodate up to 300 vehicles.
We need more car parks here, and that is why at the Kabitwal we did apply for a multi-story car park extension of this market. So right now we're still waiting for the state government approval on this matter. This is the one.
He said this when met by reporters after attending the Sarawak Independence Convoy event at Cebu Central Market. In addition, Clarence also revealed the council's intention to allocate more space for traders, especially focusing on the Iban community at the Cebu Central Market.
As you can see, that the local Iban traders are getting more and more. So we got to make space for them. This is very important because a lot of these outskirts, the Ibans do come here to buy things for their convenience. So this one is something that we have to address, this issue, to give them more space.
Malaysia moves up to Tier 2 watch list in the U.S. State Department's Annual Trafficking in Person TIP Report 2023. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof said that the move from Tier 3 to the Tier 2 watch list indicates the efforts of all parties in bringing the country's position to a better level.
Walau bagaimanapun, berdasarkan laporan US Trafficking in Person 2023 yang baru dikeluarkan oleh Jabatan Negara Amerika Syarikat pada 15 Jun yang lalu, kedudukan Malaysia telah melonjak ke tahap 2 pemerhatian ataupun Tier 2 Watch List. Saya percaya hasil kerjasama dan usaha semua pihak, kedudukan Malaysia telah berada di tahap yang lebih baik. So, kalau dalam memastikan para pekerja dapat bekerja dalam persekitaran yang selesa dan terjamin kebajikan mereka, pelbagai usaha telah dilakukan oleh pihak kerajaan dalam menguatkuasakan akta kerja yang berkaitan bagi mengelakkan berlakunya amalan perburuhan tidak sihat.
He said this at the Agri-Commodity Dialogue session on Monday. According to Fadilah, based on the report, Malaysia remains at Tier 3 in 2022, following minimum efforts made by the government agencies in addressing the issues of human trafficking, migrant smuggling, and forced labour, including in implementing enforcement. The assessment of human trafficking carried out against 187 countries, including Malaysia, includes aspects of prevention, prosecution and protection of workers in all countries relating to labour affairs.
Swinburne University of Technology Sarawak officially launched its Diploma of Early Childhood Education program, marking a significant milestone in the field of education. The first intake for this program is set to commence in September this year. Sarawak Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Datuk Seri Fatimah Abdullah, expressed her enthusiasm for the newly introduced curriculum and emphasised that the program will provide a platform for early childhood educators to attain a world-class level of expertise and knowledge.
Or the emphasis that we put on is on innovations among teachers. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sidang hadirin yang saya hormati sekalian, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Swinburne for, after 3 years journey, during the MCO included, that finally today you are able to have this, to offer Diploma of Early Childhood Education to be it our local students or be it from outside Sarawak. So congratulations for the hard work. It's not easy. Making sure that you will be able to fulfill all the necessary qualifications needed so that the students who take up this particular diploma in early childhood education will be able to work not only in Sarawak but also overseas. That is very, very important. So that is something.
She said this in her speech at Swinburne Sarawak's launching of DC held at the Hive Design Studio, Swinburne Sarawak campus on Monday. Meanwhile, Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Swinburne Sarawak, Professor Lau Hing Ho, acknowledged that the ministry's goals for early childhood education align with Swinburne's focus on industry and community engagement.
Swinburne, we believe in cooperating and partnering with the ministry for our aspiring and in-service teachers with a pathway to world-class international education. We not only benchmark ourselves with the best in the local industry, but we also adopted Australian state-of-the-art ECE curriculum to our Sarawak complex, so our students can get the best of the two worlds.
The program, which can be completed in as little as 2.5 years, will include 2 practicums in the Taska and Tadika settings. Also present at the launch was KPWK Head of Early Childhood Development, Salina Bujang, President of Association of Kindergarten Operators Sarawak, Jason Kong, and Swinburne Sarawak Discipline Leader for Diploma of Early Childhood Education, Ting Mi Ling. Commenting further on the appointment of former Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Parliament and Law, Tan Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, as the 19th Dewan Negara President, Fatimah stressed that the selection was of the best choice.
The right choice. He will make a very good speaker for the Dewan Negara, based on his experience and then also his knowledge on proceedings in the Dewan, because I think he was also once appointed as a speaker, but it was for the Dewan Rakyat. Experience and then knowledge, he's the right qualification, and in terms of his stature within the Dewan as well as outside the Dewan and on an international platform. So he's a very credible candidate, and we are very happy for him and very proud of him as well. And he's willing to come back to work, he said, although he has actually retired, but he's willing to do it as a national service. Very exemplary man.
Coming up right after the break, Prime Minister introduces strategies to boost the capital market, and deadly cyclone leaves Brazil in ruins. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Monday announced new strategies to boost the capital Malaysian market. He said the move, which is based on 3 pillars, will help strengthen the country's ringgit, noting that the country's economy fundamentals are still strong.
No, it is interrelated. Hopefully we can. As important, the fundamentals are strong. Very, very important.
The 3 pillars include enabling higher level of market vibrancy, increasing the attractiveness of Malaysian capital market, and implementing market and structural reforms to restore confidence in Malaysia's dynamism and competitiveness. Earlier, Anwar, who is also the finance minister, announced a reduced stamp duty rate for shares traded on Bursa Malaysia Securities to promote corporate ventures and easing the listing process in efforts to boost the capital market. Through the move, the stamp duty rate for shares traded on Bursa Malaysia Securities will be reduced to 0.10% of contract value effective July from the current 0.15%, subject to a maximum cap of 1,000 ringgit per contract.
This change will directly reduce the cost of securities transactions and make the Malaysian stock market more competitive. I'm confident that this step will stimulate the market and enhance its attractiveness. The increase in market liquidity will attract more domestic and foreign funds into the Malaysian stock market, thereby encouraging SMEs to pursue initial public offerings and facilitating public listed companies in raising funds to expand their businesses and create job opportunities.
To this, the Ministry of Finance and Security Commission Malaysia (SC) have been tasked to look at policies and implement reforms to ease process to list on the exchange by expediting the IPO process and reducing time to market to ensure Malaysia's competitiveness and attractiveness. The MOF and SC will also work on to widen the definition of sophisticated investors to include angel investors, venture capitalists, and private equity firms.
Local companies that offer industry training opportunities within their organizations are urged to consider providing a reasonable allowance to support trainees with their daily needs, including transportation and meals. However, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim clarified that the government has not established a specific framework for the payment of allowances to industry trainees. As such, training is not mandatory.
Kita faham bahawa internship itu bukan pekerjaan biasa. Itu hanya peluang pendidikan awal. Tetapi bagilah sedikit allowance yang menasabah. Ya. Kerana perjalanan dia, tambang dia, makan dia. Tapi dia faham, bukan upah, bukan gaji. Jadi kerajaan tidak akan tetapkan satu kaedah yang jelas kerana ini program internship yang tidak boleh dipaksa, ya, dan lebih banyak syarikat ambil interns lebih baik untuk anak-anak itu.
He said this at the launch of the Capital Market Graduates Program, CMGP, at the Securities Commission Malaysia (SC) on Monday. Also present were the Minister of Higher Education, Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin. The Prime Minister highlighted that this issue was addressed during recent dialogues held with students over the past few weeks. He emphasized that apart from offering valuable exposure to industry trainees, the recruitment of these trainees also brings significant benefits to the companies involved. Commenting further on the program, Datuk Seri Anwar said it is a platform that provides training to 9,000 potential graduates to gain job exposure in the capital market industry, with 600 individuals guaranteed employment within 3 years.
Saya percaya percubaan Suruhanjaya Security dengan KPT dan kerjasama dengan Naib Chancellor dan universiti-universiti itu sangat dialu-alukan dan sangat bermakna dalam menjana pertumbuhan dan melonjakkan keupayaan anak-anak muda kita dalam pelbagai bidang.
He also stated that CMGP program is also in line with the aspiration of Madani, which provides opportunity to develop skills and knowledge in the capital market industry for young graduates.
A cyclone that tore through southern Brazil on Sunday has killed at least 13 people and forced thousands from their homes. Torrential rain and strong winds on Thursday and Friday caused damage in dozens of towns in the state of Rio Grande do Sul, the latest in a string of weather-related disasters to hit South America's biggest country.
2 more bodies were discovered in the coastal town of Cara, one of the hardest hit, bringing the death toll from the storm to 13. 3 remained missing in Cara on Sunday after the number were revised down from Saturday's total of 20. A 4-month-old baby is also among the fatalities, according to local media. Nearly 5,000 people were left with damaged houses, and on Sunday around 84,000 people were without power. Authorities had preemptively evacuated some 80 people from high-risk areas. In Cara, the governor visited a community center used to shelter hundreds of people whose homes were damaged by the storm. In the early morning of Friday, Rio Grande do Sul was struck by thunderstorms and strong winds that triggered floods. The extreme weather has also caused road closures, flight cancellations, and school class suspensions. At least 65 people died in February when torrential rain triggered floods and landslides in the southeastern state of São Paulo. In recent years, the El Niño has exacerbated climate change in Brazil, bringing negative impacts on production and daily life, both urban and rural areas.
SpaceX has launched a new Indonesian communications satellite into orbit from the United States on Monday, the country's largest telecommunication satellite. The $540 million project intended to link up remote corners of the country to the internet.
It is reported that roughly 2/3 of Indonesia's 280 million population already use the internet, but connectivity is limited in the far-flung, underdeveloped eastern islands of the Southeast Asian country. The Falcon 9 rocket, topped with the Satria-1 telecommunications satellite, lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, soaring into the early evening sky at 6:21 p.m. EDT after a 15-minute delay due to high winds. Satria-1, short for Satellite of the Republic of Indonesia, will be operated from the Indonesian government by the Indonesian company PSN. The satellite will occupy the orbital slot above Indonesia's eastern Papua region. It has a throughput capacity of 150 gigabytes per second and will provide internet access to 50,000 public service points. The project is a public-private partnership between the government and Indonesian satellite service provider PT Satellite Nusantara 3.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the news for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.